Okay, so it's Friday. I know it's only Friday afternoon, but I thought to myself, I really feel like most of these matchups are about as clear as they're going to get. Probably all of them. So, why don't we just get to it a day early? This week in football, we actually got a lot of good matchups, and with that comes a very high risk reward scenario when it comes to trying to pick these games. So, first up, we got Buffalo and Miami. I don't like Buffalo very much on the road, and you guys know how much I like Pennington's ability to, fix a team just with his ability to manage the game. But I think I'm going to take Buffalo in this one. I think that they are by a considerable amount the better team, and sometimes you just can't ignore that. And so yeah, I'm taking Buffalo. I'm taking the Jets over the Chiefs. I like the Jets to bounce back at home and win big over the potentially, eventually 1-15 Kansas City Chiefs. I know I felt 0-16 with the Chiefs, and they beat Denver, but I'll stick to 1-15. I just cannot see any wins coming up for this squad. New England, St. Louis. Uh, the Rams have won 2 games in a row, and if they win this one, we gotta take them for real. So, I look at Patriots. I look at the Rams. I see two teams with clearly exploitable weaknesses that teams that they've beaten are not exploiting. The Rams, they have a slow, lumbering running back who sometimes takes a long time to hit the hole. They have a pretty poor offensive line. Even in victory the last couple weeks, it hasn't been a very good offensive line. They struggle a little bit with their pass rush, though it's getting better, and they have no run defense. These are things that teams can take advantage of, and the last 2 weeks they haven't done a great job of that. New England, obviously their offense in general should be incompetent right now. Denver made them look like the greatest thing since, well, the 2007 Patriots. But really, they got Matt Cassell at quarterback. The offensive line is playing like crap. They gave up like 5 sacks to Denver in the first half. And their running backs are all injured. Their offense shouldn't be capable of anything. And defensively, they're getting to that point too, if I'm being pretty honest. I mean, look what Ronnie Brown did to him. Look what Phillip Rivers did to him. They can't cover the deep balls. They, on occasion, have troubles against the run, etc., etc. So, when you're talking about teams that might not be awful but have glaring weaknesses like that, you look at whichever coach you think is more likely to take advantage of the other team's weaknesses. So, if Bill Belichick really is a great coach, he'll look at a team like the Rams, see their weaknesses, and exploit them. Maybe Jim Haslett isn't the worst coach ever, but if I had to pick between him and Bill B, yeah, I'll take Bill Belichick, and I'll take New England to win that one. Baltimore, Oakland. I'm scared of this one too, because I could see Joe Flacco making a couple of ill-advised throws toward Asamoah, and then game over. It'll be like 14-0 off 2 Oakland defensive touchdowns before you know it. But at the same time, I could say the same about Jamarcus Russell. So, in conclusion, this game annoys me. I guess I'll take Baltimore. At home. And it's a bias pick partially, too. Tampa, Dallas. I don't want to get suckered in on the Dallas hate. Last week gave the perfect excuse to get suckered in on all of this. But Tony Romo is only one player. Pac-Man Jones wasn't playing that well. Felix Jones doesn't get enough touches to really matter. So, while it's easy to get sucked in and think, oh, they lost all these guys, they're awful now. Even a team like the Cowboys, there are still 53 players on that roster. So, it's easy to get sucked in and think, well, they lost Romo, they're dead now. But there were other things that made them a 13-3 team last year. I'm just saying. So I don't want to get suckered into the Dallas sucks without Romo bandwagon. But I do look at Tampa Bay. I can't see Dallas running the ball on their defense. They got this great run defense. I don't know if Brad Johnson's going to be able to pass the ball. And Dallas hasn't exactly been the king of turnovers this year. And Tampa is an offense that does not turn it over that much when Garcia is leading the show. So I guess I'll take Tampa. But don't get suckered in on the Dallas sucks without Romo bandwagon. It would be so easy to after last week, but don't. Not yet. Philly, Atlanta. Andy Reid is a trustworthy bet coming off a bye week. I think he's undefeated in his time with the Eagles coming off the bye week. Atlanta's coming off a bye week too, and they're a good team by all means. They're fun to watch. I like them. But I got to take the Eagles in this situation. I think they need it a little more. Washington, Detroit. I don't think Washington's going to blow them out. Washington hasn't been able to blow anyone out yet this year. All their games, win or lose, seem to have been close. Washington just isn't the kind of team that's going to blow you out. But I'm pretty confident that they'll find a way to win. You know, I like Portis to have a huge game. And he'll need it if he wants to think about having a really good season like I talked about in my last video, which I think he could. So I'm taking Washington, Carolina, Arizona. Thought about it, but Carolina's at home. Let's see. I guess Anquan Bolden is coming back, and that makes you think about their offense. And you know, Arizona also has a very underrated defense, but Carolina is at home. And I really think that they're... I don't know. These two teams kind of remind me of each other, just in where they have talent and the way they play football and how good they are. I don't know. Anyway, I'll take Carolina, home team. That's all I gotta say. San Diego, New Orleans. Game's in London, I think. Never really got the whole London thing, but no Reggie Bush, very little defense to speak of. San Diego coming off a turd against Buffalo. I'll say North Turner bounces back. I'll take San Diego. Jacksonville, Cleveland. Kind of an interesting game. But I think Cleveland may have been overestimated a little bit coming off their win against the Giants. It's just an any given Sunday thing, if anything. And playing close against Washington, yeah, that was nice, but Washington doesn't blow teams out. They hang around with anybody, so I don't think that's that big of a deal. I'll take Jacksonville. Cincy, Houston. Cincy has made a habit this year of hanging close with their opponents before losing. So I'm wondering, when is it going to result in a win? Because I think it will at some point this season. But I can't justify not taking Houston. I gotta take Houston. They're better. They're at home. Gotta do it. Giants, Steelers. This is hard. Pittsburgh wins. The division's on cruise control. And the NFC East becomes wide open. Giants win. Looking pretty good in that division, actually. Even though the tough part of the schedule's coming up. It's in Pittsburgh, but I think the Giants are a better team. Not by a ton, but I think they are. I'll take the Giants. I'll go with the underdog here. I'll take the Giants. Seattle, San Francisco. You know that I've pretty much accepted that this team this year is not that good. And, you know, it sucks, but that's part of the circle of life in the NFL, and I've accepted that. But, that being said, since the Niners are just about dead themselves, I think it would be wonderful highlight of this season to put the final nail in the coffin of the Niners to, you know, kind of highlight the season a little bit and what looks like it's going to be a pretty poor season. So, San Francisco's obviously not a very good team either. I don't know who's starting the quarterback yet, but what the hell. I'll take Seattle. Finally, I'm taking the upset. I think Tennessee might be a little complacent now. Indy might be playing for their season. If they lose, they know the division race is over with. Their playoff hopes are hanging by a thread if they lose, so I'll take Indy on the upset over Tennessee, and that's it. See ya.